Attention, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, and justice for all. Welcome to the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the Special Magistrate, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you're planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door. Presentations by the county, respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The Special Magistrate may recess at 12:30 and reconvene at 1:30 if necessary. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Your case will be announced, and Ms. Meyer will conduct the oath of witness. Staff will present their evidence on your case, and then you'll be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. We'll close the hearing and announce a decision. All decisions are based on the gravity of the violations, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history. I may ask questions and allow other witness testimony as necessary. If I issue an order for compliance, it is your responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer on or before the date ordered to demonstrate that the violations have been corrected. Depending on my order, the code enforcement staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you have complied. If the staff believes you have not complied, you will receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice. Otherwise, it'll be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined by the Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceedings. The record is comprised of the testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is your responsibility to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of the order to appeal the Special Magistrate's decision to Circuit Court. And before we begin, please silence all electronic devices. Absolutely.
All county staff who will be testifying must take the oath of witness. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. First case is on page 1 under continued cases, case number CE 2001-0168. The owner is Elizabeth Corona, location 3202 Russet Drive. We have service and we have someone virtual for this case.
Yes, good morning. This is attorney Philip, Philip, last name Resnick, Reznik, on behalf of the First Mortgage Company, U.S. Bank.
Thank you, sir. Did you give your address, please?
My office address is 5404 Cypress Center Drive, Suite 300 in Tampa, Florida. And the subject property address that we're talking about today is 3202 Russet Drive, Tampa, Florida. Again, I represent not the homeowner, but I represent U.S. Bank, the First Mortgage Company.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Richard Garcia, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. The property is at 3202 Russet Drive, Tampa, Florida, 33618. My last site visit was on January 4th of this year. The conditions remain the same. During my investigation, I learned that the foreclosure sale had been rescheduled for this date, January 11th. The house is in foreclosure. Mr. Resnick can explain.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Yes, sir. This had been continued because we've been unable to gain access or get to the property because the property is still occupied by the homeowner, Ms. Corona. And to my knowledge, I'm presuming she hasn't appeared at this hearing either. She didn't appear at any of the prior hearings. So it is our client's intention to remediate these issues as soon as possible, but we just have not been able to do so because the homeowner was still in the property. The foreclosure sale is scheduled for this morning at 10 a.m. If the foreclosure sale goes to a different party, then, that party would, go through the eviction process and get her out of there to remediate the issues. If our client is the highest bidder, then we will most certainly be evicting her ASAP, and then we will work to remedy these issues for the county as quickly as we possibly can. But the sale in the foreclosure, and I did provide that to the staff, a copy of the notice of sale, showing that the sale is scheduled for this morning at 10 a.m.
Okay, and then assuming that your firm is the successful bidder this morning on the courthouse steps, how long do you think until you go through that process, complete the
So-
eviction and remedy the issues?
Under Florida statute, there's a 10-day cooling off period for title to issue. So that would be 10 days. As soon as we have certificate of title recorded from the clerk of court for Hillsborough County, we would be proceeding forward with the eviction. Right now, because we have the foreclosure case, we don't have to file a separate eviction action. We can do it inside of our foreclosure case. So my estimate would be that we have this completed within 45 days as far as getting her evicted. If she moves out sooner, then that would be great. Sometimes people move when they get the notice of eviction. And sometimes you have to go through the process of having the writ executed where the sheriff has to come over there and, remove the person and their belongings from the property. But I would say 45 days.
Okay. Looks like keep coming back every 60 days, and I don't see any other way to keep you from doing that one more time. So my intention here is to continue it again for another 60 days, let that process work through and find out where we are, if you're okay with that.
Yes, sir. And I'll continue to keep in contact with your staff via email and update them as much as I possibly can.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Please.
Thank you. Have a great day.
One moment.
You missing?
Do you want it continued to?
I was going to go
hearing?
ahead and rule and continue. Mhm.
Okay,
I was
there's
going to
not
continue
really a
it to,
60-day hearing because the March hearing is on March 1st.
right. So I will continue to the April
Then the next
15th.
one is April 15th.
That's
Just
right.
wanted to let
Yep.
you know. Thank you.
Yep. I rule in KCE 200100168 to continue to the April 15th, 2022 hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Next case is number 2, case number CE 21002267. The owner is Dawn M. Fountain, location 12525 Lovers Lane. We have service and someone is here signed in for this case. If you're here for this case, come up to the podium now. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And state your name and address.
12525 Lovers Lane, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
And what's your name?
Dawn Fountain.
Okay. Do you recognize the property in the photo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Zalvo.
Good morning, sir. Jason Zalva, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Code Enforcement originally visited this property on 2/19/2021, and upon the inspection, observed inoperable vehicles, accumulations, auto parts, outside open storage, and overgrowth. This property would later be referred on 3/22 for a hearing. The inoperable vehicle had been removed, but all the violations remained. Ms. Fontaine showed up here for a hearing on 11/10. This case was continued to today's date. My last inspection was on 1/5, where I spoke with one of her tenants who was living there with her and stated that Ms. Dawn would be here. It should be noted that this property has a history of the same violations going all the way back to 2008. All were complied prior to an actual code board hearing. And for that reason, we would be requesting a board ruling.
Okay, Ms. Fountain, what would you like to tell me?
Since he was here at my house the other day, all of the remaining garbage and vehicles have been removed over the weekend. The only thing left is to mow the grass. So I was hoping for maybe just a little bit more time.
How much time do you need to get the grass completed?
Well, I've called several people and apparently everybody's backed up at the moment. So I would say several weeks if possible,
Okay.
because I'm still trying.
And all the other items are complete?
Yes, all the
Okay.
other stuff is Take it away.
Okay. All right, how about 21 days? Does that work for you?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Thank you for coming down. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Appreciate it.
I rule in case CE 21002267, the basis of the evidence related, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, I grant 21 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $125 per day be assessed. Next case, please.
Turn to page 2, number 4, case number CE 21016091. The owner is Palms at Sand Lake LLC, location 1261 Sand Lake Circle. We have service and someone has signed in for this case. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please. Let him turn that on. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
State your name and address.
Dawn Robinson, address is 1302 Cooperstown Court, Tampa, Florida, 33613.
And you're the property manager?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize the property in the photo out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Morning, officer.
Morning, John Karen, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. May it please the hearing. Property in question is located at 1261 Sand Lake Circle, located at 1302 Cooperstown Court, Tampa, Florida, 33613. The property is owned by Palms at Sand Lake LLC. Property is currently tenant occupied and not in foreclosure. The initial inspection was performed December 7, 2021. Evidence shows that the initial inspection revealed that the property was in violation of smoke detectors, electrical wiring, sink-based cabinets, infestation of interior space, interior surfaces, ceilings, and interior floors and walls. Combination of a notice of hearing and notice of violation was then hand-delivered to the respondent. Respondent will say that pest control treatment has been provided routinely. However, pre-hearing inspection was performed January 5th, 2022. Photographs were taken at that time for this hearing. Was then revealed the said property remained heavily infested with roaches and children being among those subjected to these living conditions. Roaches would fall off the ceiling as if it was a common occurrence. It is our position that this property is posing a serious health risk to the occupants and requires to be provided a remedy with haste. At this time, I'll respectfully yield initial testimony to allow the respondent the opportunity to provide further details. Thank you very much.
Ms. Robinson, what would you like to tell me?
So with this specific unit, there has been an ongoing sanitation issue that we have been trying to get under wraps. Prior to them coming out and doing the initial paperwork with me, we've had pest control out there every week, baiting and treating. The problem is the roaches are not going to go for the bait as long as there's food and junk and dog feces and everything else left throughout the apartment all the time. I did have our pest control company come out after I got the paperwork and met with him, and they refused to treat again until the sanitation was cleaned up. It took the tenants a couple of weeks to do it. We then went back and forth with the tenants in regards to they wanted to take care of some of the issues on their own. We tried to negotiate with them. We were losing time. They didn't have a better time frame money-wise of when they would be able to complete all the tasks that are in these pictures. We felt that it was in the best interest for us and the tenant for us to go ahead and take care of the issues ourselves. However, they have since then denied us to come into the unit. We've given them notices saying that they can't do that and that we're going to come in. They came to my door yesterday and let us know that they have COVID. And that's why they've been denying us. So we've been very limited to what we can get in there and do.
Okay, so outside the obvious COVID exposure issue, what's your plan or timeline to get this complete? I mean, that's the conditions that they're living in are pretty
Right.
rough. Outside of the pest control issue, there are other issues that could obviously be remedied that don't have anything to do with the living conditions.
So, and a lot of it is tenant cause, clearly. And another thing, we have to like replace the floors and stuff. They have to take all their stuff out in order for us to do that. And they've made no attempts to work with us so that we can get some of this stuff done. They have a dog that's in there that's not supposed to be in there. He's not friendly. They constantly leave him out, which kind of prevents our technicians from being able to get in there and do work as well.
And do you have a lease with this tenant?
We do.
And does your lease have enough teeth to have you take care of these things?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Does the lease have enough teeth for you to be able to take care of these things as the owner?
What do you mean by that?
Can you get in and resolve these issues, or are they going to continue? Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your timeline to be able to complete these things? You've notified them, you're evicting them. What's the?
So we haven't proceeded with any kind of eviction processes just because we've been trying to get this situated and help them out. The dog is a whole nother story. We'll work on that another day. But they told me yesterday, as soon as they know that they have tested negative for COVID, they'll let us know so that we can get in there. So, I would like to say a couple of weeks we could get it taken care of, but it just depends on when they get back to us to let us know that they've tested negative.
Okay, well, my ruling is going to be based to force the issue.
Yeah, of course.
I'll give you an extra week from what I was planning on ruling just because of the COVID issue.
Okay.
I was going to give you 7 days. I'll give you 15 days to get this completed, but the conditions that they're living in, you've got to force their hand and get this taken care of.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I rule in KCE 21016091 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the actions taken by the violator and the violator's history, I grant 15 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed. If you're 200 days. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Have a great day. Next case, please.
Turn to page 5, number 9, case number CE 21006103. The owner is John Boston Hill III and Sarah Jean Hill, location 2106 Dillon Court. We have service and we have Mr. Hill present for this, and we also have several neighbors, I believe, in the audience too who have signed in. Good morning. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address.
My name's John Hill, 2106 Dillon Court, Valrico, Florida.
Do you recognize the property in the photo there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Bowling.
Donald K. Bowling, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case began on 5/4/2029. The primary complaint was basically outside open storage, being shipping containers in the backyard. Through investigation, we found that not only was there shipping containers in the backyard, which are very large, we also had commercial vehicles, had improper use of zone, and fencing, which is a minor violation. I had 3 witnesses give me, and they should be here actually, testimony about the operation of a business called Stars and Stripes Movers. The address given by Stars and Stripes Movers is 7100 West Hillsborough Avenue. I ran that through the property appraiser's office. It does not exist. In fact, the operation that I saw and also conversations I had with the respondent indicated that the business is either being operated fully or being physically supported out of this business, which is an RSC. It's not a business zone, it's residential. There was a total of 12 visits, the last being on 12/29/21. That's where you saw the truck backing out onto Stillmeadow, which is a back street that cannot handle the kind of traffic that is coming from this residence with the commercial vehicles, et cetera, on a regular basis. It's too narrow of a road. The truck cannot navigate safely. And there's quite a few residents that are upset about the situation. Also, I researched licenses. The DOT license that was put on the website, DOT 100274, does not exist. Also, the MC license and state license is not, I could not find it anywhere on any of the state websites. And again, I also got a lot of information. I don't know if you would like me to relay it or have the witnesses relay it to you as far as a regular moving visit that's going on. I did speak to the respondent on 12/21 via cell phone, and he stated that he could not move the cargo containers in the back because he had furniture from a customer, a female, in there, and he could not move it until that was emptied out. I was also told that by the neighbors that the respondent was actually storing furniture and other paraphernalia from an assisted living facility back there that was being remodeled. And that's basically all I have. Like I said, I don't know if the witnesses are here or not.
Just stay seated for 1 second, folks, and
Okay.
let's let him respond, and then I'll have you come up, okay? No sense standing up here the whole time. Mr. Hill, what would you like to tell me?
I took a couple of pictures just to show that I did fix the fence. Sorry, the resolution isn't desired. See that?
You want to give that to him?
If you'd like, yeah, sure.
If you submit them, we have to keep them, so if that's okay, if you've got copies, why don't you just hand them around and the young lady will grab them, bring them over to me, and then we don't have to worry about the machine.
I just don't. So what you see there, Magistrate, is pictures of the current condition. I did take those pictures yesterday. It does show that the fence has been fixed. It also shows that the location where the commercial vehicle was parked is no longer there and will not be parked there again. The last email that you see there is a bill of sale showing that I did sell one of the shipping containers. I'm actually going through a contested divorce where I have been enjoined from disposing or transferring assets or property without the consent of my soon-to-be ex-wife or of the court. My wife currently is having a mental health crisis, and dealing with her is difficult and slow-moving. I have gotten the authorizations to sell that shipping container that you see photoed, and I've given that gentleman 7 days, as you see on that email. I didn't mean to get him to sign that, but you see his contact information there.
Absolutely, sure.
He did pay a deposit and has intentions to meet that deadline.
Okay. So is it your testimony that after that's picked up sometime this week, I guess, all the issues that you have outstanding on your property will be resolved?
I'm looking to get I no longer conduct business there. Like I said, that commercial vehicle will not be parked there again. The remaining container, I hope to be able to get a permit for, as I use it for personal use.
So you don't have, so all the containers haven't been removed, just one of them is being removed. There's still
Correct,
one container existing?
correct.
Officer Bowling, in that residential RSC4, is a container going to be allowed or permitted in that space?
Are containers allowed there?
To be
No,
permitted?
not these are shipping, these kind of containers that you put on cargo ships. No, there's never been a case that I've seen of that kind of, those kind of implements have been allowed to be in that zone unless there's a variance obtained. I've never seen a variance awarded, but it's never been a major subject with me.
Understand. Okay.
If I'm
I
not
also
able
could-
to, if I'm not able to get the proper
Then you'll
permitting,
move them.
I
accordingly.
will remove it. Unfortunately, due to this, constrained very directly by these proceedings.
Well-
I hope
You're constrained. I understand you're constrained in regards to selling of assets, but you can move the container, correct?
Yeah, I could, yes.
Yes. Okay,
It,
great.
it does have a carport attached to it. And
There's a
obviously
carport attached to the
to the container.
the
to
container?
The container that we were just, that I was hoping to
Okay.
have there.
Okay,
Obviously, that has to be deconstructed.
sure.
And, moving a container isn't something that you can use a clapper on. There's only a limited amount of people that are able to move that, and their schedule, because of, I won't speculate as to why, is very slow moving as well.
Probably all the containers off the coast of San Diego right now. Yeah, no, I understand.
You understand,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
There's a host of reasons why
Sure.
that.
But in fairness, it was moved in there. It should be able to be moved.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, the carport was constructed obviously after, but it being deconstructed that obviously has to be fully completed prior
Gotcha.
to anything's able to be ambulated.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's hear from testimony from some of the neighbors. If you'll want to come up,
Could I sit down?
please, if you want to just have a seat right there in the front row for a minute, we'll go through that and I'll bring you back up. But if the neighbors can come up and
Raise your right hand, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address.
My name is Peter Priolo. I live at 2105 Dillon Court. That's in Valrico.
Thank you.
All right.
sir, what would you like to tell me?
Back in, this should be no surprise to Mr. Hill. Back in January, I would say January of 2021, Mr. Hill came over to my house and we had a discussion at my front door. He wanted permission to move these two 44-foot containers onto his property. The reason he came to me is I also own the property adjacent to him on the Still Meadow Drive Road. He has a very unique piece of property. He can egress and access from two different locations. At that time, I said, what are these containers going to be used for? He said, I'm going to use them in my moving business. I proceeded to tell John I was totally familiar with the moving business because I worked 4 years for United Airlines when I was going to college. Therefore, I knew what was going to go on here. I said, no, in very explicit terms, you cannot run a moving and storage business out of a residential location. I thought that was the end of the issue. However, a couple of weeks later, I'm coming home from playing golf. When you're old, you play a lot of golf. And I saw a tractor with a chassis with one of those 44-foot containers going across my neighbor's yard so he could get to his back property where that little slit is. At that point, I knew darn good and well that he was going to run a moving business and disregard anything that anybody had to say about it. My problem now is that those containers are probably less than 50 feet from a residence that I own, where I have a family member. There's no foundation. They're not attached to anything. They're not tied down. And I've got a windstorm deductible with hurricane season coming up of thousands of dollars. And those babies are going to roll right into that house from any storm coming up there. So those containers need to go ASAP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, please.
Yes, my name is Craig Simmons. I live at
Okay,
18.
but sir, raise your right hand, please. Here, I'm talking. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address now.
My name is Craig Simmons. I live at 1811 Still Meadow Drive, Valrico, 33596. If you look on the map up there, the pictures y'all were showing, the one where it shows him in a driveway, or excuse me, the truck in the driveway, that's my house. My concern is, I guess I'm being naive, but When he mentioned containers to me, I thought it'd be like a little 20-foot container. I didn't realize they would be that big. He set them up there on his property. He went in through 2104 because he couldn't get them in through the back. And he brought more than one, which surprised me, but he never secured them. And I'm kind of concerned about that. You got to be able to secure them. Hurricane reasons, little tornadoes, etc. My next problem is apparently he doesn't have a problem running a 24/7 operation. That truck that's pictured, he usually rents trucks, but I guess he purchased that truck and fixed it up. It makes a lot of noise. And when it comes in between the hours of 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, it will wake you up. I guarantee you. We've had to call Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department. I forgot what date that was in December, but there was activity up there. There's usually a lot of activity at that detached garage. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. And it wakes me up. And we text him, or I should say my wife texted him, and he didn't respond, so we called the Sheriff's Department. He's got cameras around his property. He's got a camera that shoots right down our street. So he knows when the Sheriff Department rolls up, and the noise usually quits, or it did that morning. So that's my concern. My next concern is there was a moving truck come out that back drive one day, wide open throttle. Unbelievable. The speed. It's crazy. That road, our road, Still Meadow Drive, is probably good for about 20 mile an hour, and it's narrow. And the width of it, if 2 cars pass, you just about have to slow down to 5 mile an hour so you don't hit each other's mirrors. So our street's not equipped, our dead end street is not equipped for through traffic, especially commercial traffic. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, everyone needs to keep your mask on and on properly throughout, as long as you're in the building here. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And state your name and address.
Mamie Simmons, and I live at 1811 Still Meadow Drive, Valrico, Florida, 33596.
Thank you.
Okay, one of my concerns is, like the others have said, there's the speed of the drivers and the trucks going down the road. We have small children and animals, with pets, or we walk the pets, but also his employees, people we don't know, constantly coming up and down our street, parking at the end of our street, turning around in our driveway. And also, we've been finding alcohol bottles in our front yard from his drivers. So you know they're drinking and driving. And the noise is astronomical. And it's 24/7, all the time. When they pull out, they back out. They back down the street, then they pull up into our driveway to turn around. So you're getting the noise from the front, the side, everywhere, all the time. So that's basically what I have to say.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Morning. My name is Andrew Madison, 1809.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Sorry,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Now state your name and address.
My name is Andrew Madison, 1809 Still Meadow Drive, Valrico, Florida, 33596.
Thank you.
Sir, most of the items that have already been mentioned were on my list as well.
Okay.
So the only thing I can do is echo those issues that they mentioned. I think the only thing that has not been mentioned is that on our street, there are, besides the young kids that are starting to grow up now, there are some older individuals at the other end of the street that tend to walk their dogs and stuff like that. And they complain to us like we can do something about it. So the only thing we've told them is that we have made it an issue and that hopefully this will this whole thing will be resolved shortly. So otherwise, the items that were mentioned, I think, well, there might be one. When he brings in equipment and stuff for work on his property, they park in our cul-de-sac. And several times they block the driveways, block the sidewalk, and stuff, especially going to my house and Mr. Simmons' house. So that's usually a problem, especially when they were putting that asphalt down in the back for additional parking. But everything else, I believe, has already been covered.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Please, come on.
Do I need to, no.
Restate your name for the ladies downtown that are recording for me. That'd be great.
Yes, Mamie Simmons, 1811 Still Meadow Drive, Valrico, Florida, 33596.
Thank you.
I want to state that you should take into account when he says he sold the truck, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because he uses U-Hauls, Penske's, stuff like that. He doesn't, till he bought that truck, he always used Penske's or U-Hauls or something. So when he says he sold the truck, that doesn't mean that the business will stop.
Understand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Hill. Obviously, it sounds like your neighbors are excited about your change of status and removing some containers. Is there anything you'd like to add or?
I just want to note that I don't know for certain that I'm allowed to. I'll have to speak with my attorney, who will speak with the other party, my soon-to-be ex-wife, about what I'm allowed to move. I don't want to make the promise that I can do something that I'm restricted to do. I want to follow the rules of the court. I've never been through that process before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Should I speak to what my neighbors said? Or
you don't have to. I got a pretty clear picture between your testimony and there, so I think I understand. But you're going through the process, and you've already sold one of the containers. You still have one to move, so I'm prepared to make a ruling based on that. If there's anything else you'd like to add, I'd be happy to.
I just asked for a reasonable amount of time. I don't know what that is, but I mean, I want to be in compliance with this in all of the courts. So, and I'm not trying to piss off my neighbors.
Sure.
So I'm sorry.
Well, from a duration standpoint, it sounds like this has been going on for some time. So,
Yeah, I think what they're describing is over a period of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't a host of flagrant violations that I'm doing in the face of anyone, and I'm trying to conduct my affairs as respectfully as possible. I do listen to music at night. Sometimes I fall asleep with the music on. Sorry, I'm not trying to wake anybody up or make anybody listen to my reggae music unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have plans of having other heavy equipment or anybody's access or easeway being blocked or restricted. I drive very slowly when I approach my property from that, and I've instructed anybody visiting me to do so as well. I'll continue to remind them because I want to keep that road and easeway as safe and as operable as everybody else who uses that road.
Absolutely.
I have small children. I don't know any, but there's one other small child that lives on Still Meadow, but I have children 5 and 7 years old. So yes, people do come into my house. It's a large property. I entertain friends. Only a fraction of the people that come there would have any kind of business purpose. So I just want to make that clear.
I understand. Well, it seems like you have a clear understanding of the violations and what Officer Bowling has shown in regards to the improper use of zone. So based on my ruling, you just won't be able to do those things anymore. So,
Understood.
okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your testimony. I rule in case CE 21006103, the basis of the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator and the violator's history, I grant 30 days to come into compliance on the items listed. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $500 per day be assessed. So you have 30 days, sir.
Is that the maximum amount of time I could receive?
You have 30 days, sir. That's my ruling.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. Next case, please.
Okay, that is all of the audience for the code cases, so we're going to finish it up and go back to page 2 of the, no, one moment, page 3 of the agenda, number 5. Case number CE 21008344. The owner is Virgil Keith Bolton and Fred Brown, 14530 Jonathan Court. We have service and no one is present.
I'm sorry, do you want to call case number 3 first?
I apologize. I realized I did that just as I
That's okay.
started talking.
No problem.
Number 3, case number CE 20005704 is complied as of January 10th, 2022.
Thank you.
And we are back to number 5, CE 21008344.
Would you like me to read my no one present? Okay. Seeing that no one is present in the audience for the remaining cases on the agenda, I will now review the case materials previously provided by county staff. And if I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation, my ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented of gravity of violation, the action taken by the violator, and the violator's history, and determining the amount of the fine that will be assessed. Good morning, Officer Sweeney.
Good morning, sir. Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case came to us on June 14th, 2021. The property is located at 14530 Jonathan Court, Dover, Florida. It is owner occupied. It is not in foreclosure. The zoning for that property is RSC 6. We received a complaint about multiple issues and conditions on the location. The owner, there's actually 2 owners of this property. However, the owner, Mr. Brown, lives on the location. And we cited them for accumulations, nuisance condition, outside open storage, commercial vehicles, and inoperable vehicles. And as you can see in the photos, all these conditions continue to exist, and that's why we're here today. I spoke with Mr. Brown on June 15th, 2021, advised of the complaint received. I also gave Mr. Brown an extension of 10 days due to his efforts to clean up on July 12th, 2021. And again, on July 26th, 2021, we gave him another extension due to the cleanup. However, during my site visit, and the day that I took photos for this presentation on January 3rd, 2022, things got worse instead of better. So this is why we're here today.
Okay. Mr. Sweeney, based on your repeated site visits, can you give me an idea just from a volume standpoint, what you think a reasonable amount of time is to complete what's there?
That's tough to say. I mean, if a person will put the efforts toward doing what they're supposed to do, 30 days would be sufficient. However, this is why we're here today, is because they don't put the effort that they need to put toward coming into compliance.
And they started the cleanup process and you gave them some extensions and then it just
That's
stopped?
the reason why I gave them the extensions, because of the
Something was happening.
process.
Right.
And then they reverted back.
Okay. Okay. I grant 45 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $250 per day be assessed.
Next case is number 6, case number CE 21009770. The owner is Gold Elm at Lake Advent LLC, 8428 Sycamore Tree Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning, officer.
Good morning, Cynthia Gonzalez, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I inspected the property at 8428 Sycamore Drive, apartment 102D on 7/17/21, which at the time of the inspection was tenant occupied. Just to let the board know, I just received a text message from the property manager that they're on their way. So it's up to the board if you want to wait for them to continue.
We have 2 more. Let's switch gears and we'll try the other 2 that we have, but then we'll have to wrap up the meeting if they're not here in time. So if you don't mind
That's fine.
stepping down just for a minute, we'll see
Not at all.
if that works.
Thank
We'll
you.
call the next one. Thank you.
Turn to page 4, number 7, case number CE 21010096. The owner is Susan Piolo, 706 Seminole Sand. We have service and no one is present.
Sorry, Officer Sweeney, we could have
No
saved you a
problem.
walk.
Dennis Sweeney, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case was initiated on July 20th, 2021. The property is located at 706 Seminole Sand, Plant City, Florida. The property is zoned AS1. It is owner occupied and the property is not in foreclosure. The complaint we received in this situation was people occupying RVs, motorhomes, and such. Upon my initial site visit, I was unable to prove or disprove. However, on July 26, 2021, I made an additional site visit and found where motorcycles were being parked next to one of the units on the site, in which I observed people coming out of the motorhome, out of the travel trailer. We received another complaint for the same concern on October 4th, 2021. And on December 16th, 2021, I made a site visit to serve notice to the owner for the conditions that was cited and for this hearing. The owner was not available, but her son, James Hollenbach, who resides at the location, received the combo notice. And on January 3rd, 2022, site visit was made to verify conditions continue to exist and to update the photos. I have 3 units, a motorhome, 2 RVs, and one that is actually placed in the woods where they're trying to hide folks from being able to see. This photo doesn't give you a good clear, but on the left side of this photo, you can barely see the RV stuck in the woods back there. Same property. So that's where we stand at today.
Okay. It looked through the pictures that there might be some other accumulations and whatnot for vehicles.
We have an existing case
on that other.
with fines accruing for those conditions. That's why they were not part of this
And
presentation.
no response on that case either?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I grant 21 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $400 per day be assessed.
Next case is number
Thanks, sir.
8, case number CE 210-11614. The owner is Angelina Tremarco and Antoinette Tremarco, 8806 Amos Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Morning, officer. Fabulous. Happy New Year.
You too. You too. I'm Code Enforcement Officer Leon Saller with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is located at 8806 Ames Drive, Riverview, and it is owned by Angelina and Antoinette Trimarco. Property is owner occupied and not in foreclosure. I first inspected this property on August 16th of last year, and it was cited for 4 violations. As of my last inspection on December 23rd of last year, 3 of those violations still remain, which were inoperable vehicles, fences, and pool barriers.
Is that the pool with?
That's the pool. That's the pool. The conditions, we already have an open case that's in final status because of the conditions of the property as it is right now.
Okay.
But as of now, there's no barrier around that pool at all.
Neighborhood life safety risk?
I would say no at this time because there's no water. The pool is drained. There's nothing in the pool.
Not a falling hazard either?
Yeah, it can be a falling hazard. Yeah, if you're looking at that aspect, yes.
Okay. I'm going to say that's a safety hazard. We'll go with that. Okay. And pool sanitation is complied because they drained the pool?
They drained the pool, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 2-part motion. I grant 3 days to come into compliance. If compliance not achieved by that date, a fine of $350 per day be assessed for item S13.2.1 pool barrier. For the remaining items, I grant 30 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $200 per day be assessed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alistair.
Page 5, number 10, case number CE 21009357. This case complied January 4, 2022. Page 6, number 11, case number CE 21015174. This case complied January 4th, 2022. And we'll go back to page 3, number 6, case number CE 21009770, and the owner again is Gold Elm at Lake Azure LLC, 8428 Sycamore Tree Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Good morning again.
Good morning again.
Okay, again, this was 8428 Sycamore Tree Drive, apartment 102D. My first initial visit was 7/17/21, was tenant occupied. There were several violations at that time, which today there's only the violation of the windows. I don't see it up there.
It's coming. There were other items on the violation that have been complied with by the owner?
Yeah, there were several violations and they were already complied, and the only violation was the window violation. As of 7/17 until 12/16, the violation still remains. The property manager on 10/29, when I spoke with her, she stated that she had talked to several window vendors and none of them would do the window frame. So that's where we are today.
Okay. But she's been cooperative to this point and there's no life safety issue here?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. I grant 60 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $150 per day be assessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all of the code cases. Our next will be the water resources, land, and fire marshal cases.
Okay,
Are you ready to go with that?
absolutely. Codes cases are
Can we
adjourned.
adjourn this meeting, please, and restart the next one separately?
Absolutely. I adjourn the code meeting case for 1/11/2022.
I think, do you need to do the?
I do, yes. Let me switch paperwork here and we'll. I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate to order. Welcome to Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the magistrate, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during this hearing, you must sign the speakers list located at the front door so your case can be called. Any person who decides to appeal a decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceedings. The record is comprised of the testimony and evidence upon which an appeal is based. It is your responsibility to ensure a verbatim record of the proceedings is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of my order to appeal my decision to circuit court. Presentations by the county, respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. Special magistrate may recess at 12:30 and reconvene at 1:30 to conclude its business if needed. The basic process for this hearing is as follows. Ms. Meyer will conduct the oath of witness, and your case will be announced. Staff will present the evidence on your case, and then you'll be allowed to rebut that evidence and explain what has occurred. We'll close the hearing and announce a decision. I may ask questions and allow other witness testimony if necessary. Depending on my order, county staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you have complied. If the staff believes you have not complied, you receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice, otherwise it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. For false alarm or water resource cases, if you have not complied by paying the past due burglar, false alarm fine, or water resources penalty fine within the time ordered, you will receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest that notice, otherwise it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined by Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Before we begin, as we've already stated, please silence all electronic devices. First case, please.
All staff who will be testifying must take the oath of witness. Did your staff take the oath earlier? Everybody in the room did? Okay, the oath has already been taken by county staff. First case is on page 3 of the agenda under landscaping and natural resource cases. Number 7, case number L 216575. The owner is Marites Parker, 1822 South Ridge Drive. We have service. And someone is here for this case. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And speak a little louder and get closer.
I
to the
do.
mic. Thank you. And now state your name and address.
Marites Parker, 1822 South Ridge Drive, Val Rico, 33594.
Thank you. Is the gentleman behind you going to testify?
Yes. My English is limited, so he needs to.
He's going to translate. Okay, come up, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And what is your name?
Okay, this I came to represent her, and she's a widow. She lost her husband, she lost her daughter.
Sir,
I need your name, sir.
Need your name and address.
Yeah, she lost her husband, she lost her daughter, she lost her family.
Sir,
yes.
we need your name and address for the record. Your name and address.
My name is Lukman,
And your last name?
Disu Disu.
Thank you. And your address?
Yeah, I came to represent my ID, my address. Okay, 5126 Sunrise Palm Drive, Tampa, Florida. Okay, 58 Sunrise Palm Drive, Tampa, Florida, zip code 33617.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Would you please put your mask up over your nose? Thank you.
Ms. Hull is going to do her testimony first, and then it'll be your turn.
Good morning. It's Krista Hall, the Environmental Supervisor with the Development Services Department. This is case L 216575. Property owner and violator is Marites in Parker. Violation address 1822 South Ridge Drive, Valrico. Violation observed, unpermitted removal of one live oak tree measuring 23 inches DBH. The ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A. First inspection, March 3rd, 2021. First notice, March 17, 2021. Last inspection, December 30th, 2021. 3 inspections. First inspection was conducted by Tony Hood, the inspector, March 3rd, 2021. There is a stump of a tree that was removed that he was able to measure and determine the size. There was no permits. Reinspection was conducted by the inspector Tim Knight on December 30th, 2021. No new plantings was identified to replace the trees for any credit. The county's recommendation is that the property owner plant or donate 23 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 23 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of plantings and contributions to the fund within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund can be made that equals to $65 per DBH inch. The fines will be issued for failure to meet the time frames.
Okay, ma'am, what would you like to tell me?
The reason I cut the tree because that lightning hit the tree. So I don't want it like the trees was dying. So I just decided to cut the tree because I don't want to wait like hurricane tornadoes gonna be, landed on my house. So that was the reason that I cut the tree, but I did replace another tree.
Oh, so you have plantings on your yard somewhere else?
Yes.
In the back or?
I had a pictures.
Yeah,
I had a pictures.
Oh,
on
okay.
the tree.
on your phone?
Yes,
Okay, well, if you give them to me, I have to keep your phone.
yes.
You can put them on the screen, yes. It's a very nice phone.
If they show it, we need the photos for the record.
Yeah, we'd still have to have them
We still have to have.
emailed or something to us.
Yes. So we need to make sure that happens.
Okay. So when you, that's fine, you can step back. When you got the tree removed, did you hire a tree company to do it? And did they permit it?
Yeah, I heard the guys, they just go to neighborhoods and,
Oh,
so-
guys that go to the neighborhoods.
so when they, knock my door and I said, okay, there's a tree that's dying because the lightning damaged it.
Okay.
So,
Even though it's dying and you didn't get a permit, you didn't get anybody to come take a look at it and certify that it needed to come down. So ultimately, it's still your responsibility to.
that was my mistake.
Right, understand. But I understand that you've planted a tree. So as part of my ruling, they'll come back out and reassess what the size of that particular tree is and whether or not it's an approved tree. And then they can give you credit for that tree against, either the contribution to the restoration fund, or you can plant additional trees to be able to get additional credit someplace on your property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we can give you credit for that tree, but that tree is not going to be sufficient for 23 inches. It'll probably give you a couple of inches. And whatever the balance is, you can either plant more trees, contribute or donate trees to the county, or you can pay into the restoration fund the balance.
Like how much?
Well, until we inspect that tree, I don't know how much your credit is. It just looks like a couple of inches just from what I see at this point.
Because I cannot afford to buy more trees. I'm on a budget. So,
I understand. I can give you some extra time in my ruling to take care of that and pay the fines, if that'll help. There's no life safety issues or anything here, but I can give you some more time to get that taken care of. And then I'll give time to come out and tell you exactly what your credit is.
So do you want me to plant more tree?
That's completely up to you. You can either pay into the restoration fund based on the size that they've determined that tree was, or you can add additional trees to your property as additional credit against that and then pay the balance. It's a mix and match, how you'd like to take care of it.
Okay, because they asking me if I don't plant more trees, then they have to fine me 1,500. That's, I cannot afford it.
Right.
So I don't know what to do.
I understand. I can give you extra time to be able to pay that off if that helps you.
Okay,
Does that help?
okay.
Typically what they're asking for is within 60 days, and I'd be happy to give you 90 days to help take care of that.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay, terrific.
So what is it like? You want me to plant more trees?
Again, that's good. It's not my choice. It's completely up to you whether you want to plant additional trees to credit against the fine, or whether you just want to pay the fine, or how you want to handle it. So, but they'll come back out, they'll take a look at the tree that you've already planted, determining that it's a tree that's valid, it's on the list, and then they'll take the DBH of that tree and they'll deduct it from, and then you'll know what your balance is. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I rule in case L216575 that I concur with staff's recommendations and require the property owner to plant or donate 23 inches of DBH approved shade or restoration trees, or contribute 23 inches to the restoration fund, or a combination of plantings at commission to the restoration fund within 90 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Failure to meet any of the timelines listed above will result in a fine of $150 per day. Okay, ma'am. So you have 90 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Turn to page 4, number 9, case number L216681. The owner is Julio Escalona and Raquel Escalona, 7735 Carriage Point Drive. We have service and someone is signed in for this case. Good morning, sir. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address.
Julio Escalona, 7735 Carriage Point Drive, Gibsonton, Florida, 33534.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Hall.
Yes, so, sir.
1 second, sir. We'll let Ms. Hall do her testimony and then you'll be
okay,
next.
yes.
Krista Hall, Development Services Department, property owner and violator is Julio Escalano and Raquel Escalano. Violation address is 7735 Carriage Point Drive in Gibsonton. Violation observed is improper pruning resulting in the effective removal of 1 required street tree. Ordinance violated is section 6.0603. First inspection, March 5th, 2021. First notice, March 8th, 2021. Last inspection, January 3rd, 2022. 3 inspections conducted. The picture was provided to us by the HOA representative back in February the 2nd, 2021. As you can see, there's a street tree in front that has been heavily pruned and does not meet the county's standards for pruning. It's also identified as effective removal due to the damage to the tree. On January 3rd, the inspector, John Beavers, went back to the property. He did identify a tree had been put in. However, that tree has died. County recommendation at this time is that the property owner install the required street tree within 60 calendar days. Tree must be 1 inch DBH or larger, 6 feet in height minimum, and a Florida grade number 1 chosen from the Hillsborough County approved street tree list. Fines will be issued for failure to meet this time frame.
Okay, sir. What would you like to tell me?
Yes, no, just wanted to tell you that I did plant the tree, as you saw in the pictures. The tree died. It was fine for 3 or 4 months and then it died. I guess I'll have to plan a new one or to meet the violation, you know.
Yes, sir. Any trouble with getting that done in the next 60 days?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Then I'll go ahead and rule. I appreciate you
Okay.
trying once already, unfortunately, and she didn't make it. So,
So with these trees, when they died, if that happens again, would that be the same process or?
it has to keep living.
Could
Yes.
live
That's
until-
that's the important part. Then it does its part.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't, then it's ineffective.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I rule in case 216681, the basic evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, I agree with staff's recommendations, require the homeowner to install the required street tree within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, 6 feet in height minimum, and Florida grade 1 chosen from Hillsborough County's approved street tree list. Failure to meet the timelines listed above will result in a penalty of $150 per day. So you have 60 days, sir.
Okay, how do I notify, when I plant a new tree?
Ms. Hall?
Do you have the inspector's name and phone number?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just contact him and he will do a reinspection for you.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Turn to page 5, number 12, case number L 216747. The owner is Five Friends LLC, and the location is a vacant residential lot on River Drive in Valrico. Morning, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address.
Shaji Joseph, 12421 North Florida Avenue, Suite 115B, Tampa, Florida.
And how are you related to this case?
I'm an owner, part owner.
Of Five Friends LLC?
Correct, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I think there's someone online as well, or another person here in person.
My name is Jeffrey Dowd. I'm an attorney. I'm representing Five Friends LLC.
Could you state your address, please?
156 West Robertson Street, Brandon, Florida, 33511.
And thank you.
Ms. Hall?
Okay. Krista Hall with the Development Services Department. Case L 216747. Property owner and violator is Five Friends LLC. Violation address is a vacant lot on River Drive, Valrico. Violation is unpermitted disposal of fill materials located within a 100-year floodplain. The ordinance violated is section 4.01.03. First inspection, March 26, 2021. First notice, April 5th, 2021. Last inspection, December 30th, 2021. 3 inspections. The property is identified on the FEMA flood zone map as within the flood zone. Fill materials put in a flood zone requires a permit with the county. The inspector, Tony Hood, was on the property on March 26, 2021. Identified, he wasn't able to go fully on the site, but he was able to identify that there were fill materials in the back, and that is outlined in the red area. The materials are above grade. On December 30th, Tim Knight was on the property. He located that their fill materials has been in the back of the property with a new structure built on top. County's recommendation is that the property owner submit a natural resources permit application to address the disposed fill materials and stormwater requirements for the property within 30 calendar days. Obtain and finalize the natural resource permit after receipt of the application within 90 calendar days, or remove all fill materials from the floodplain within 30 calendar days. Fines will be applied for failure to meet these timeframes.
Okay, John, who would like to start?
So since the notice we received, we were able to take the fill material out. I have some pictures of it. and and it's exactly how it was when we first purchased this property.
Do you have a copy or set that you can leave with me?
Yes.
Doesn't look like it's on a pink telephone, so if you want to hand it over to the young lady over there, I'll take a look at it.
I also have a map, a site map. When we purchased this property, we had no idea that there was these kind of restrictions. So we just filled a couple of holes.
Understand.
And that's where the dirt came from. And since then, we've removed them and got them back to the shape.
Is there fill underneath the structure that you?
Now, the structure was actually in a high-rise plane. It was a high-rise. And so we just put some shells around it because it was, for the last flooding, there was a lot of corrosion. So just to keep the
riprap to keep it from
just put shells around it.
And how much fill did you remove from the site?
There were 2 loads that I initially put in to fill the holes. I took them all out.
Okay. And so it's your testimony, sir, that everything's been returned to its original state?
As it was when we first purchased the property, yes.
Okay, all right, so that's terrific. Then I guess I'll go ahead and I'll rule based on the staff's recommendations, which is the timelines are in there, 30 days to remove, and you've already done that. So then you can just call and have it inspected and meet them out there so they can come on the property and see the entire property and inspect it. So that's okay.
Sure. And if you could let me know who I should call. So I'm not sure.
Do you
Yeah.
have the, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll have the inspector contact you.
Okay.
Because we had to switch inspectors this month. If you're ready for a compliance inspection. It's important that the fill material that was disposed on the floodplain, even if it was materials that was done by the prior owner, it has to be back to natural grade. Okay?
Okay, the only thing that I did was I put rocks because the last flooding, it started making the hole bigger. And there's a house property next door and it started seeping into there. So I just to keep the corrosion and not affect the property, I just put some rocks around it.
We'll probably have a floodplain engineer come with our inspector to confirm that you've removed the materials from the floodplain that's required under the regulations.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Gonna need you in front of the microphone for my ladies downtown.
Sorry.
That's okay, Counselor.
Can you have the inspector contact me when they go to schedule the inspection?
Yes, as long as we have your contact information, yes, we'll do that.
Yes, ma'am. It's on the sheet I filled out when I came in.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Counselor. Okay, I'll go ahead and rule. Thank you guys for being proactive with that. I really appreciate it. And have a great day. I rule in case L 216747 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Furthermore, I agree with staff's recommendation to require landowner to submit a natural resources permit application to address the fill materials and stormwater requirements of the property within 30 calendar days, and to obtain and finalize the natural resources permit after receipt of application within 90 calendar days, or remove all disposed of fill materials from the floodplain within 30 calendar days. Failure to meet the timelines listed above will result in a penalty of $200 per calendar day. Next case, please.
Page 6, number 13, case number L 216807. The owner is Linda Perez, 504 Warren Road. We have service, and someone has signed in for this case. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name and address,
Linda Perez, 504 Warren Road.
and the rest of the address.
Oh, Lutz, Florida, 33548.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hall?
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department. This is case L 216807. Property owner and violator is Linda Perez. Violation address is 504 Warren Road in Lutz, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of 2 laurel oaks and 1 live oak tree measuring 26, 24, and 14 dBH inches. Ordinance violated is section 4.1.03A. First inspection, April 19th, 2021. First notice, April 21st, 2021. Last inspection, December 1st, 2021. 3 inspections. This inspection was conducted by Wayne Doyne on April 19th, 2021. There is debris on the site. Mr. Doyne may want to explain these photos.
Wayne Doran, Hillsborough County, Natural Resources. April 19th, I went to a complaint. There was evidence of tree removals, front yard and backyard. Switch, next slide. After conducting research online, February 1st, 2019, Google took these aerial photos. It showed 1 tree in the front, 2 in the back that were missing on my visit on that day. On my recheck, December 1st, 2021, there was that tree replanted in the front yard, but that doesn't count towards the required trees for that lot. Staff recommendation, plan or donate 64 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 64 inches to a restoration fund or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 60 days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, minimum 8 feet in height. Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
Thanks, Wayne. Ma'am, what would you like to tell me?
Just a couple of things. So I have pictures here. 4 years ago, we had a Hurricane Irma, and it hit a tree in the backyard. I have pictures here where it busted down my fence. That tree was removed during the cleanup of our property. I didn't realize I had to call to have that one removed. I'm not disputing the other tree. I basically removed it because it was pulling up the driveway. It was causing damage to the driveway, and the other one was a little one in the backyard, was close to the shed. I got pictures too during Irma, and when they came to clean the other one, I had them take down that. So I'm not disputing the fact I took them down. I'm disputing, though, how large they were. The tree in the front was a small oak tree, and it literally, whoever planted it, because it was before I had the house, the roots were all submerged on the top of the ground. So it was a huge problem. There was no solder, nothing could grow there because all the roots were on top. And it was a very small oak tree. So I'm not disputing I cut them, but I'm disputing that it wasn't the one that they actually called for recently, because the other ones were taken down 4 years ago. The one they called on recently, that little one, and it was just a small oak on the front. And I have a picture of that one too.
Okay, do you have a printout of it, or do you have it on your phone?
I have them on my phone. Oh, and also I planted 3 beautiful oak trees in the backyard against the fence.
Okay,
So I know he hadn't seen them, but they're back there.
Right.
Not the palm trees. That was just.
okay, so obviously upon reinspection, you'll have probably some credits coming back to you.
Yes. I
If
planted
they're
3
the
big
proper
ones.
tree and size and all those kind of things too. So, okay. Unfortunately, in regards to the picture, unless it's something that you can submit that we can keep.
Oh, yeah, I have them
can't-
on my phone where you can see the lightning and the tree is on the ground and on the fence.
Oh,
I
so
mean, it's pretty.
did you print it out, or can you email it, or?
I can email them, or I can fax them, or give it email and email them to you.
I think we have an email address that we can give you to do that.
I just have one question. Are you saying one of the trees fell down in the back after the hurricane?
Yeah, I have a picture with a light.
And it is the larger tree? Is that what you're saying?
You're going to have to step back to the microphone. Sorry, my ladies downtown won't be able to hear
Sorry,
you.
yes.
That's okay.
4 years ago, but I have the original pictures of the tree on the ground and on the fence, which is the reason with the whole cause of it.
Understand.
So
I'm taking responsibility, but I don't feel I have, 65 is a lot of inches when
if we
if
we take off that one large tree, that reduces it to 38 inches.
Okay.
Is that more workable for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a little one that was by the shed that I took down.
Okay.
But you see, it wasn't that large.
That, I don't see any reason for why that didn't need a permit.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. And in the front yard tree, why did you take that one down?
That was the one that when they had planted it, they left the roots on the top of the ground and no sod or nothing would grow there, and it was pushing the driveway up. So I have pictures I can submit to the court also where the driveway is all pulled up on that side. I'm actually having the driveway removed now because it's just so damaged on that corner.
Okay, that one would have required a permit too.
Yes, understand.
All right, so,
Krista,
yes. Wayne?
the hurricane was 2017. The aerial photos were 2019, showing trees still standing. Yes, I do know a portion of one of the branches from the tree did fall during the hurricane, which she just showed, but the tree was still standing as of 2019, which would require a permit.
Okay. So we still have a tree that was still standing that required a permit?
From the aerial photos.
But ma'am, are you saying that the tree fell down after 2019?
No, it fell down during Irma, and these pictures were from 4 years ago from Irma. It fell down on the fence. So if you see it, it's the tree, like he said, it's chopped in half. So you can see where the lightning hit it in half. Yes, there was a piece of the tree up, but the tree, I mean, here's.
Okay, but we've got an aerial photo that was taken in 2019. That's after Irma. And that tree is what we're talking about as being missing, not the tree that fell in Irma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That tree, I did cut it down. I'm saying, yes, I did. The one that was hit by Irma is the big one that I just showed you the pictures of that was chopped in half.
I understand, but we're referring to trees that were removed from the aerial of 2019, not the trees prior to 2019.
Krista, one of the trees in question that she's saying was fallen, it was actually a lead that probably had a bad bark inclusion that got knocked. It split from the main tree, and that's what fell on the fence. There was still a good portion of the tree remaining for two more years from when that photo was taken. So there was a lead from the tree, a branch from the tree that did fall.
Well, would we consider like reducing it by 50%?
I'm okay with that.
I think that's fair.
Why don't we round it off to 50 inches instead of 64, ma'am?
So we'll reduce the number of inches that you have to replace. Basically, we're giving
That's
credit
all I
for,
was asking because
basically, we're giving credit for half the tree.
they were gone when it got there. The two were small. The
Sure.
one big one was a half. It was hit by lightning. That's the only reason why I even started the whole tree cutting process because, you know, you get your tree cut. I'm a single mom. I was scared to death that the other trees was going to fall. So I did, like I said, I went and planted 3 beautiful oak trees because I want my trees in the backyard. I just didn't want them so close to the house to damage it. So I'm okay with I'm taking responsibility because I did know that I had to get them taken down, but I don't feel like, I think
Yep,
that's a lot of
absolutely.
tree.
No, and I appreciate that. You're very forthcoming, but I think a fairness to reduce it to 50 inches. Plus, when the inspector comes out, they'll be able to take a look at the trees that you've already planted and give you credit as long as they're quality trees that are, allowed.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. You're welcome. Carmine, can you put the recommendations back up for me, please?
Oh.
Ms. Hall, thank you.
There you go. Oh, it's not sharing.
Thank you. I rule in case L 2168007 that based on the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Further, I agree with staff recommendations to require the landowner to plant or donate 50 inches of DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 50 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of plantings and contribution to the restoration fund within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Fines for failure to meet the timelines above will result in a fine of $175 per day. Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next case, please.
For 14, case number L216839, the owner is Jose Lazaro de la Hoz Medina and Figueredo Gretel Machine, 815 Centerwood Court. We have service and some people are here. Good morning.
Good morning, hi.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I can.
And state your name and address.
Yeah, my name is Jose de la Hoz Medina, and my address is 815 Centerwood Court, Brandon, 33511.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you take the oath when he was taking it?
She did.
She did. Okay.
Is she going to testify?
No, I'm gonna speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Then you're fine.
Okay.
Ms. Hall?
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department. This is case L216839. Property owner violator is Jose Lazaro de la Hoz Medina and Gretel Machen Figueroa. Violation address is 815 Centerwood Court, Brandon, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of 2 laurel oak trees measuring at 31 and 31 inches DBH for a total of 62 inches DBH. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A. First inspection, April 27, 2021. First notice, September 21, 2021. Last inspection, December 30th, 2021. 3 inspections conducted. First inspection was conducted by Tony Hood on April 27, 2021. He identified a tree removed in the front and the tree removed in the back. That was determined, as you can see in this Google photo of March 2019, the tree in front is gone and the tree in back is gone. On December 30th, Tim Knight re-inspected the property, did not find any new plantings. The property owner, staff is recommending that the property owner plant or donate 62 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 62 inches to the restoration fund or a combination of plantings or contributions to the fund within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum 8 feet in height. Florida grade 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the funds equate to $65 DBH inch. Fines will be issued for failure to meet these timeframes.
Okay, sir, what would you like to tell us?
Excuse me, Your Honor. When we first moved to this house, we thought that this tree was dangerous to the property and to us because part of this tree was falling apart. But that wasn't my call. I hired a company to do this job. This company sent an arborist to our house. And they find out the same before they did the job. When I first, and the last letter that I get, it said that the first notice is on September 21st. That's not true. The first notice was in April. Okay, I got here the first notice that I got for Mr. Hood. It was on just 1 second, April 29. Okay, I sent an email to Tony Hood. I got the email here with me. I sent him the arborist report and I asked, what should I do? I didn't get an answer back. I called him a week later. He didn't answer the phone. I just say, okay, the problem was solved. 4 months later, I got the same notice, the one that is saying that is on September 21st. It was like 4 months after I sent the email with the arborist report. I called him. I got lucky, he picked up the phone and told me, I said, sir, I sent you the arborist report from the company that did the job. He said, oh, I remember you. You say, no worry, I will send it again, just in case. I sent it again. He answered me back with an email saying that they got the arborist report, that they were taking a look at it, that he will get in touch with me. He never get back to me.
Did you bring a copy of the arborist
Yes, sir.
report? Can you hand it to the young lady and?
The arborist
Pass it-
reports or the email?
Both, that's fine.
Okay, sure.
If you have a copy, I'll be happy to look at it.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought there, but if I can look at it while you're talking, that would help.
Okay, just one second.
So just to recap, it's your testimony that you submitted the arborist report. The inspector didn't respond to you.
Yes.
He recited again, he came by again.
Okay. Okay. This is the arborist report. This was the first notice that I get. And this was like the it was the inspector respond back to me.
You have to, sorry, you have to speak into the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, my lady stepped down.
I sent a copy of the email that he respond back to me saying that they got the arborist report, that they are taking a look at it, that he will get in touch with me when he got an answer. After that, I wait for a month. And then I got the third letter saying that I may have to go to hearing. And I decided to send a letter by also a certified letter by mail. And I got this, you may have the certified stamps that I get by the post office there. I just saw it here.
That's okay.
Okay. I think it was on one of those. Okay, but you can hand it to him, this letter that I sent to. I sent this letter, the last one that I sent, it was certified by the post office because I was afraid that the email wasn't working. I just was asking what to do because I have the arborist report. I was trying to communicate with him and I couldn't.
Do you know the tree company you hired?
I think it was, okay. It's on the arborist report.
All right, I'll need to see that because
Yeah, but I get,
the file, we don't see that the report was put in the system. So we'll need to still evaluate that arborist report to
Okay.
ensure that it meets the requirements for acceptance.
I also, I'm sorry.
And at that time, we'll know if that will reduce this violation or not.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you. I also got the email from the Tony Hood saying that they got the report.
Understand.
Okay, sure.
I would recommend at this time that we postpone this case until staff has time to review this report.
I think that's a great idea. I don't see anything in here that shows the tree company that was involved. The arborist information is in here though. So as part of the information, if you can go back and do your research and try to find out which tree company did
It
the work.
was like Arnaldo Tree Company. I saw it like in the advertisements. I called this company and he said, okay, I can do the job, but first I have to send a specialist to make sure that these trees are removed. And that's what they did.
Understand.
Sure, sir.
But we need you to go back and find out exactly what company it is and get with them. Obviously, they're going to coordinate with you as we continue this case. So we'll continue and we'll set it back on the agenda for next month. And then unfortunately, you'll have to come back. But if you provide that information to them by email in the interim, then they can do that research and they'll do the research on the arborist report as well.
Just one question. How can I contact them and make sure that they get the information? Because I have been trying for a long time and unfortunately it's a miscommunication.
Well, I'm sorry that you're having such a difficult time communicating with them. I see some communication back and forth with Officer Hood, so I don't know what the overall issue is, but I'm sure Ms. Hull would be happy to share her contact information with you as well and be able to communicate with you in the interim, so.
And what do I have to do? Just wait for them to get any information to me?
You'll be noticed for the next hearing coming up.
Okay.
So I'm going to continue it to the.
That's going to be February 4th, 2020.
I'm going to continue it to the February 4th hearing to give everybody a time to do the research on it and look through the Arvis report. At the same time, you can get the information to the tree company because it's possibly they could be liable as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. I move to continue case L 216839 to the February 4th meeting. Next case, please. Thank you for coming, sir.
Turn to page 7, number 16, case number L 216865. The owner is Costco Investments LLC, and the location is a vacant commercial, Woodbury Road, west of I-75. And we have someone online, I believe, for this.
Marcos, can you hear us?
Yes, good morning, officer. This is Attorney Marcos Marchena with Marchena and Graham, 976 Lake Baldwin Lane, Orlando, Florida, 32814.
Good morning, Counselor. Give us 1 second. Ms. Hull will do her testimony and we'll come right back to you.
It's Krista Hull with the Development Services Department. This is case L 216865. This property owner and violator is Costco Investments LLC. Violation address is a vacant lot on Woodbury Road, Tampa, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of 292 trees for a total of 3,212 inches DBH. Ordinance violated is section 4.1.03A. First inspection, May 11th, 2021. First notice, July 2nd, 2021. Last inspection, December 30th, 2021. 3 inspections conducted. It is my understanding that this case, that the property owner wanted a postponement. If he is ready to proceed today, I will go forward.
No, Your Honor, we are requesting a postponement. My client was served on Thursday, this past Thursday. He first contacted me Thursday afternoon. He doesn't speak English very well. He had gotten a telephone call and he called me and said, hey, somebody's trying to get me some papers. Together with him, we called the same phone number back and we spoke with Mr. Knight, who said he was indeed trying to serve him papers. The first time I saw these papers were Thursday night. Obviously, this is not a small matter, and I would ask for an opportunity for my client to prepare and for me to prepare on behalf of my client to be able to gather the appropriate facts. I think he's probably going to need an expert because this information is based on an estimate. And I would ask for adequate time to be able to prepare for this matter before we have to go forward.
Okay, Counselor. Do you feel like 60 days is enough time to get that done? We have a future hearing coming up on March the 4th. Is that sufficient for you to be able to do? And
yeah,
so
normally I would say yes, Your Honor. Ms. Hall and I spoke yesterday afternoon regarding the postponement, and I would normally say yes, 60 days. However, my wife and I just had COVID and had to postpone a 35th wedding anniversary trip to Africa, and we happened to be returning, God willing, the night of March 4th. So I would ask for the next hearing after that.
Counselor, they have Wi-Fi on the planes. I understand. I do not want to get in the way of someone's 35th wedding anniversary.
I appreciate that, sir.
Absolutely. That doesn't end well for anyone. Okay, my next future hearing is April the 1st. I'm assuming that'll be okay and clear on your calendar?
Yes, sir. I will make
All right, fantastic. I'll go ahead and continue that to April the 1st and look forward to hearing from you then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, and I will follow up with you.
Thank you very much. I move to continue L 216865 to the April 1st, 2022 hearing.
Turn to page 9, number 20, case number L 217009. The owner is Rasmi Atef Wadi and Taylor Nicole Wadi, 6012 Bob Head Road. We have service and someone has signed in for this case.
Morning. Good morning.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
And state your name and address.
Razmi Wadi, 6012 Bobhead Road, Plant City, Florida, 33565.
Thank you.
Krista Hall with the Development Services Department. This is case L 217009. Property owner violator is Rasmi Atef Wadi, Taylor Nicole Wadi, and violation address is 6012 Bobhead Road, Plant City, Florida. Violation observed is unpermitted removal of a 37-inch DBH laurel oak tree. Ordinance violated is section 4.1.03A. First inspection, July 19, 2021. First notice, August 10, 2021. Last inspection, December 7, 2021. 2 inspections. Wayne Doyne.
Wayne Doyne, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. This case, I responded via complaint, July 19, 2021. I could see this from the front door entrance, missing oak tree. On December 7, 2021, Tim Knight did a re-inspection, no new tree plantings. I did talk to Mr. Wadi this morning, and he is in contact with the nursery. He is going to replant on the property. He's just trying to get them to get out there to do the replantings. So whatever time you deem for him, he will be able to get it done.
Okay. Thank you, Wayne. Sir?
I do have the information of the gentleman that's going to do the planting. It was just, I just would like an extension if I can do it. I thought it had to be done by today. So I have not planted anything because of the holidays. If I could just get some time to plant it, I will do the total 37 inches.
Okay, terrific. How much time do you need to plant those?
If I
And they
could
have to live.
If I could get 60 days, that would be great. Is that
That is,
okay?
yep, that is in our recommendation. So the staff recommendation is plant or donate 37 inches DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 37 inches to the restoration fund within 60 days. So it is in the recommendation.
Fantastic. Sounds like we're on the same page. Does that work for you?
Yes, sir. And then I do have this approved list that was given. And can it be a mixture of ornamental and shade, or does it have to be only shade?
We could do a 50-50.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, terrific. Thank you, sir, for being proactive on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I rule in case L 217009, the basis of the evidence presented, I find the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Codes of Ordinances listed in staff's presentation. Furthermore, I concur with staff's recommendations to require the homeowner to plant or donate 37 inches of DBH approved shade restoration trees or contribute 37 inches to the restoration fund or combination of planting and contribution to restoration fund within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Failure to be made, the timelines listed above will result in a daily fine of $125 per day. No problem. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Turn to page 11, under fire marshal cases, number 22. Case number FM 21009. The owner is Martha Goana and the violator is Casa de Dios Elim Church. The location 13308 County Road 672. And this was continued from a prior hearing. Good morning. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And state your name and address.
Marta Gaona. My address is 13308 County Road 672, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
And your name and address, ma'am.
Raquel Gomez, 5311 Bell Street, Waymama, Florida, 33598. Thank you.
Inspector Jimmy Wiggum, 9450 East Columbus Drive, Hillsborough County.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, sir. Go ahead. What would you like to tell us?
We were here in September.
I remember.
Right, and they were granted an extension. And I believe the only thing that's holding it up is they had some fines that had to be paid and so forth. And if that was done, then they were able to get their permit and so forth. And we go back out and verify that all the work was done according to fire
Okay.
codes.
No change in status on your side, and
On
the
our side.
fire watch is still going on?
Yes.
Yes, so they're good with the fire watch.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right, terrific.
And we finally have the permit, so.
Terrific. That's great news.
So we
ladies.
continue with the next step.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Okay. So y'all were able to get the fines taken care of? Yeah. Okay.
I think, yes, we have.
Okay. So you have permits in hand. Okay. So what's the next timeline? Do we have to re-inspect after the work is complete?
Right, if they have presented, these plans was presented and evidently they've been reviewed by.
By
our
the
plan-
county?
Right, and I don't know if they've been reviewed by our plans reviewer or not, because I had not seen you just yet
Okay.
until now.
Okay.
And so, if they have not, then they'd have to be reviewed by fire marshal plan reviewer, and they would approve or disapprove depending on what's there.
Were you issued a permit?
Yeah, we were issued the permit, it was December 30th.
Oh, just
To pick 'em up
recently.
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the permit was issued. I'm assuming that they've
Yes.
been reviewed, so.
Okay, so what they're gonna have to do, they were issued, they have not been reviewed by the fire marshal's office just yet. Right, once the fire marshal's also review the plan, then they will stamp them also. So they need to get that done. So whoever did the plans for you, they need to submit them to the fire, submit them, right?
Okay, so I'll go ahead and,
Yes.
whoever, now they need to submit it to your office?
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to step in front of the microphone for me it's okay. You'll still be able to hear you, I promise.
So now they need to be submitted to his office?
Right, it'd be submitted downtown. The process changed to some degree in terms of being able to do everything online. So, but what we'll do is just have you contact the plan reviewers and so forth, or just contact downtown to the building department. And once they're submitted and reviewed, and if they're approved by our office, if you will, then we'll send an inspector out to take a look at the property.
Okay.
So.
Okay. You ladies are doing a great job. I know it's challenging, but every time you come with progress, and I really appreciate that. So I guess at this point, I'll just continue this, but I'll do 60 days instead of 30, since you guys have been diligent about getting these things done. And then, like the inspector said, the next step for you is to get that approved by the fire marshal, and they'll help you with that process and tell you where you need to go. And then when you come back in 60 days, hopefully you'll have approval by then. And then we can resolve this, take it off the books. So I appreciate you ladies coming out again.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I move to continue case FM 21009 to the March 4th, 2022 hearing. Thank you.
I don't have record of any other citizens here to testify, so
No one online?
we're back to the beginning.
Seeing that no one is present in the audience for the remaining case on the agenda, I will now review the case materials previously provided by county staff, and if I find the properties in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances listed in staff's presentation, my ruling in each case will be based on evidence presented, the gravity of violation, the actions taken by the violator, and the violator's history, determining the amount of the fine that will be assessed. First case, please.
Page 1, number 1, cut under water ordinance cases, case number WR 2102022. The owner is Anthony R. Rizza and Carolina Maria Rizza, 9622 Ivory Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Sorry, sir. Gotcha. Not right at the top for some reason. Can we switch a microphone out by chance with one of these that are up here?
You broke
it. You broke it. Thank you, sir.
How's now? Okay, great. I'm Carmine Fasano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the water violation case WR 2102022. On Thursday, 7/15/2021 at 6:51 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 9622 Ivory Drive to observe the sprinkler system watering the front yard on the right side of the driveway. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. Notice of violation was mailed on 7/26/2021. During the process, an appeal was received in the office on 8/25/2021. During the process on 8/31/2021, Manager Mark Huey sent the owner photographs of the violation, and that resulted in no response from the property owner. A default letter was sent out on 10/18/2021. It was mailed. Notice of hearing was on 12/10/2021. Officer Baker hand-delivered the notice of hearing. The fine is $100. As a first offense, case WR 2100630 was on 4/6/2021, and a warning was issued.
I grant 30 days to come into compliance. If compliance is not achieved by date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Number 2, case number WR 2102265. The owner is Summit at Fern Hill, CDD. Location 10340 Boggy Moss Drive. We have service and no one is present.
I am Carmine Fasano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is water violation case WR 2102265. On Wednesday, 8/25/2021 at 6:44 hours, Officer Paul Whaley arrived at 10340 Boggy Moss Drive to observe the sprinkler system watering on both sides of the driveway. This is a non-watering day during non-watering hours. Notice of violation was mailed on 8/26/2021. The default letter was mailed on 10/7/2021. Notice of hearing was issued on 12/20/21. Officer Whaley hand-delivered the notice. The fine is $100. There's a first offense code case, water violation WR 2101911 on 6/30/2021, where a warning was issued.
Grant 30 days to come into compliance. If compliance not achieved with that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Number 3, case number WR 2102320. The owners are Kareem Rose and Danelis Rose, 10223 Boggy Moss Drive. We have service and no one is present.
And Carmine Fasano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is water violation case WR 2102320. On Tuesday, 8/31/2021 at 6:15 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10223 Boggy Moss Drive and observed the sprinkler system watering the front yard on the left side of the driveway. This is a watering day, but was conducted during non-watering hours. A notice violation was mailed on 9/2/2021. Default was mailed out on 10/7/2021. Notice of hearing on 12/10/2021, Officer Baker hand-delivered the notice of hearing. The fine is $100. There's a first offense was water violation 2101961 was on 6/21/2021. That resulted in a $100 fine. And there was a previous offense, WR 200568 on 5/13/2020 was also issued a $100 fine. Actually, the fine, this should be the third offense of a $200 fine, but it was noted at 100.
Can I see the picture?
Oh, I thought I kicked it up there, sorry.
No problem. Okay. I grant 30 days to come to compliance, and compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $35 per day be assessed.
H2 number 4, WR 2102338. This case complied January 7, 2022. Number 5, case number WR 2102366. The owner is Natalie Navarez, 10166 Carlaway Hills Drive. We have service and no one is present.
I'm Carmine Pisano with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is the water violation of WR 2102366. On Monday, 9/3/2021 at 5:42 hours, Officer Ted Baker arrived at 10166 Carlaway Hills Drive to observe the sprinkler system watering the area on the front left side of the driveway. This is a non-watering day, during non-watering hours. Notice of violation was sent on 9/9/2021. The default letter was mailed out on 10/11/2021. I don't have the information on the service. The fine was $100. First offense was on WR 2101867 on 6/18/2021, where a warning was sent, and they graciously received a second warning for WR 2102148. Warning was sent on that also without a fine, so this is a $100 fine for this offense.
I grant 30 days to come into compliance, and compliance not achieved by that date, a fine of $20 per day be assessed.
Number 6, case number WR 2102394. This case complied January 6, 2022. And that concludes the water resource cases. Page 3, under landscaping and natural resource cases, number 8, case number L 216617. This case has been pulled and rescheduled for March 4th, 2022 hearing. Page 4, number 10, case number L 216683. The owner is Robinson A. Moreno Salazar, 7865 Carriage Point Drive. We have service and no one is present. Garcia case?
One moment, Ms. Hull. I think there's some discussion.
Apologies, we do not have service on this case, so we will reschedule it for a future hearing. We don't have any.
We don't have
affidavit.
service on Salazar. 216683.
You do?
She's agreeing with you.
Oh, she's agreeing with me.
She is.
Okay. Okay, page 5, number 11, case number L216684. And I don't believe we have service on this either, do we? No, we do not have service, so that one shall be rescheduled. Page 7, number 15, case number L216848. And we do not have service on this one, so that will be pulled as well. Page 8, number 17, L216889, complied on January 6, 2022. Number 18, L216941, this case was pulled for staff. Page 9, number 19, case number L216970, the owner is Elaine Cruz Garcia, 6722 Gateway Drive. We have service and no one is present.
Krista Hall with the Development Services Division, case L 216970. Property owner violator is Eileen Cruz Garcia. Violation address 6722 Gateway Drive, Tampa, Florida. Violation observed, unpermitted tree removal of a 16-inch DBH live oak tree. Ordinance violated is section 4.01.03A. First inspection, June 29th, 2021. First notice, June 29th, 2021. Last inspection, January 3rd, 2022. 3 inspections conducted. I don't know if Wayne is still here.
Yes.
Wayne Dorian, Hillsborough County Natural Resources. I arrived at this address for a complaint on June 29, 2021. There was 2 tree removals for this property, but 1 tree removal was covered under House Bill 1159, but the report did not state the live oak. And after talking to the arborist, he did not recommend the live oak be removed. Next slide. On January 3rd, 2022, re-inspected the property, no new tree plantings. I have talked to the owner. We actually set up a admin payment on a seller for them about 3 weeks ago, and they still have failed to make the payment required. Next slide. Staff recommendation, plan to donate 16 inches DBH approved shade restoration trees or contribute 16 inches to the restoration fund or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 60 days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, a minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution of the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Fines will be issued for failure to meet timeframes.
I concur with staff's recommendations require the homeowner to plant or donate 16 inches of DBH of approved shade restoration trees or contribute 16 inches to the restoration fund or combination of plantings and contribution to the fund within 60 calendar days. Trees must be 1 inch DBH or larger, minimum of 8 feet in height, Florida grade number 1, chosen from the Hillsborough County approved tree list as appropriate. Contribution to the fund equates to $65 per DBH inch. Failure to meet any of the timelines above result in a fine of $250 per day.
Number 21, case number L217171. This case was pulled and rescheduled for the hearing on March 4th, 2022. And that concludes the agenda.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone online. Appreciate your time.